Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelsey and I'm here today to do my February wrap-up.
I meant TBR, oh my god.
So February is a pretty exciting month. We're coming off of a fantastic January. More to come in the wrap-ups, but I have a lot of vlog ideas for February and we're also starting a new read-along, so I'll get more into that as we move forward. So I do want to give two little hints as to what the vlogs will be this month. So the first book that I'm going to say for one of the vlogs is Radiance by Grace Draven. I think the first time I heard about this book was on Riley Marie's channel. She really loved this book. So from what I understand, Radiance follows two people who are from two different sides of like a warring kingdom. And all I remember Riley Marie saying about this book that made me like super into the romance was that they think that the other one is ugly. They're from two different like species of like humanoid, I guess. They just think the other is ugly, so they're really starting this romance on like just a political alliance, and then obviously the story moves forward from there. So I'm very excited to pick this one up along with the two others in this vlog. And then I also have three books here for another vlog, the first of which you could see, so I'll just talk about this one as the hint. But this is Milk Fed by Melissa Broder. I read Melissa Broder's Pisces book a couple of years ago and I really enjoyed it because of its like weird nature, and this one is just as weird and the other books are just as weird. I think the first vlog idea is more obvious. I think this one is a little more like niche to like my interests right now. But Milk Fed is another weird book by Melissa Broder, and I've seen so many people say that it's one of the weirdest books that they've ever read. So Rachel is 24, who has made calorie restriction her religion. Then she meets Miriam, who is intent upon feeding her. As the two grow closer, they set in motion a journey marked by appetites, physical hunger, and sexual desire and spiritual longing. Sounds really weird. I've seen pages of this book that look really weird. I'm just excited to like dive into this weird book and the other two that I have on for this specific vlog. Then I think we can move into the two arcs that I will be reading this month. So the first one is The Book of Love by Kelly Link. I read some of Kelly Link's works when I was in university studying for my literature degree. I enjoyed the short stories, but they weren't like completely memorable for me. Like I can't tell you any of them that I read. So I've been a little intrigued by Kelly Link's dive into like a first novel, and a novel of substantial amount because it's 640 pages, which is wild to think of an author who mostly focuses on short stories or shorter fiction diving into a longer work and going to this length. So I think that that would be really interesting to analyze. This follows Laura, Daniel, and Mo, who find themselves beneath the fluorescent lights of a high school classroom almost a year after disappearing from their hometown, the small seaside community of Ledsand, Massachusetts, having long been presumed dead, which in fact they were. As Laura, Daniel, and Mo grapple with the pieces of their lives they left behind, and Laura's sister Susanna attempts to reconcile what she remembers with what she fears, these mysterious others begin to arrive, engulfing their community in danger and chaos, and it becomes imperative that the teens solve the mystery of their deaths to avert a looming disaster. It sounds really interesting, but it hasn't been getting the best reviews. So I'm very I'm still interested to see like what the issues that people are having with this book is. Will I enjoy it? Will it be an unpopular opinion for me? Looking forward to it. And then the second arc I have for the month of February, I'm very excited for. It's An Education in Malice by S.T. Gibson, who wrote A Dowry of Blood, which was a like Dracula's Wives retelling, and I devoured it. I devoured the writing. I absolutely loved it. This one seems to be a Carmilla retelling, and if you watched my vampire vlog, I just read Carmilla. So this is really exciting to me. It's coming at a good time because Carmilla is like fresh in my mind, and I remember all the characters, and I remember like everything that happened in that book. Deep in the Forgotten Hills of Massachusetts, again, stands St. Perpetua's College. Isolated and ancient, it is not a place for timid girls. Here, secrets are currency, ambition is lifeblood, and strange ceremonies welcome students into the fold. On her first day of class, Laura is thrust into an intense academic rivalry with the beautiful and enigmatic Carmilla. Together, they are drawn into the confidence of their demanding poetry professor, who holds her own dark obsession with Carmilla. It just sounds so good, and I think it might be a really interesting reimagining of Carmilla because we have this like very sapphic undertone, this dark academia like vibes, and something that I really appreciated about Carmilla was this undertone of obsession, but I just didn't like how the novel ended. So I would really enjoy a like more overtly sapphic type of retelling, so I hope that this is what it is and that it's really good. Then we'll move into the read along that we are starting in the month of February. So if you watched my last video, we're starting the Trials of Apollo by Rick Riordan in the month of February, starting with, of course, the first book, The Hidden Oracle. So the Trials of Apollo series follows Apollo, who is turned into an average modern boy named Lester as punishment by Zeus. So in the Heroes of Olympus series, not to spoil anything, but Apollo allows for something to happen that leads to a destruction or an evil thing happening. So Zeus is punishing him. And in order to regain his place on Mount Olympus, Lester/Apollo must restore these 5 oracles that have gone dark. And obviously the story kicks off from there. I'm very excited to dive into this one. And once we're done this, we will be pretty much caught up on the Percy Jackson universe, besides the 2 books that came out last year. So I'm very eager to pick those up and be completely caught up in this universe. I will leave a link up above to the playlist where I've read the entirety of Rick Riordan's universe. I always do a dedicated vlog and there are dedicated reading sprints. So those will also be coming to you in the month of February. But I'm very excited to be picking this one up and just being in a new world, being in new Greek mythology with Apollo and maybe the other members of the entire Rick Riordan universe. After that, I've tried to make it a goal this year. I didn't do it in January, so it's already failing, to read more of my nonfiction TBR. So in the month of February, I would like to tackle Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race by Renee Edo Lodge. So this is exploring everything from eradicated Black history to the political purpose of white dominance, from whitewashed feminism to the inextricable link between class and race. Edo Lodge offers a timely and essential new framework for how to see, acknowledge, and counter racism. So this book is the essential handbook for anyone looking to understand how structural racism work. I'm always looking to further my education in racial dynamics, class dynamics, societal dynamics, white feminism. And this is probably one of the oldest nonfiction books on my TBR, so I definitely need to get it read this month. After that, we have the Professor Kelsey's book club selection pick for the month of February. So this is a sneak peek. This is coming before I even tell my co-host what the book is, but this is Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter. This is a book I started sometime in 2021, I think, and I just put it off since then. I don't know if it was due to the writing or due to the slump I was probably feeling at the time, and I have been just eager to pick it up since then. I've always heard nothing but really excellent things about this series, so I know that it's something that I'm going to enjoy. And recently I've learned that this was an independently published book. I didn't know that. I wasn't aware of that. And I think that that's so cool that it was then traditionally published. So this book follows the Omehi people, who have been fighting an unwinnable war for almost 200 years. Their society has been built around war and only war. So the lucky ones are born gifted. 1 in every 2,000 women has the power to call down dragons, and 1 in every 100 men is able to magically transform himself into a bigger, stronger, faster killing machine. That's all I know about it, and that's all I remember about it as well from when I had picked this one up. Hopefully I really enjoy it. It's a chunker, but I'm eagerly anticipating reading this for a while, and I hope I'm just in the right headspace this month to vibe with the writing, because I think that that was just the main issue. And then lastly, towards the end of the month, I would really like to pick up A Crown of Swords. This is book 7 in the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan. So right now I am currently 200 pages from the end of Lord of Chaos. That is the 6th book in the series. So I would really like to just continue with this momentum of picking up the Wheel of Time books as I finish them, because I just think it'll just keep me reading. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you might know that I haven't been supremely loving the last few installments in the series. It's not that they're bad, but they've just been 3 stars. But I'm really enjoying Lord of Chaos, so I think we might be on an up and up, but I know the slump is coming and it starts with this book, so we'll see. The Wheel of Time series is basically a battle between good and evil, and it comes in a circular motion every so often. I don't remember how many years. Does it even say? I don't think so. And in this specific timeline in the series, it seems to be that this will be the last battle between good and evil, and we are following the Dragon Reborn, who is said to either go directly to the dark side or go to the good side, and whichever side that they go on wins. I'm not going to spoil who it is. I'm not going to spoil the characters' names. I'm heavy into the series now. I'm really just trying to read along until I get to the Brandon Sanderson written part of the series, just because I want to read everything Brandon Sanderson's ever written, and this has been a part of it. This has been a feat that I have been tackling for at least 2 years now, but I'm really getting into it now, especially with Sandra's from Got a Thing for Things read along that she's doing with Becca and the Books. So appreciating this, it's keeping me accountable, and I will definitely be listening to this. It's one of the shorter ones I've read in a while because it's around 700 pages, and the last 2 have been 1,000. So this should be easily accessible for me to handle and listen to on audio and catch up. So that's it. Those are all of the books I want to read in the month of February. If you have read any of these books, please let me know down below what you thought about them. Did you like them? Did you hate them? Should I be warned about something? Let me know. And if you would like to follow me on any of my other social medias, I do leave a link down below to my Twitter, Goodreads, and Instagram if you would like to follow me there. And of course, because it is the end of the video, I tell you every time, but don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. It does wonders for my channel. It makes me feel really good. And that's it. I never know how to end these things without feeling awkward. So I will see you next time. Okay, bye.